We want to start by saying that our hearts go out to everyone impacted by yesterday's terrorist attack in Manchester. 22 people lost their lives after a bomb was detonated after an Ariana Grande concert. And of course, ISIS is claiming responsibility. And, you know, there are so many families, you know, this is the season where concerts are starting to happen. And so, you know, what needs to happen here?
He was outside the concert venue.
Yeah.
So I guess that they would have caught him if he actually went in. It reminds me of when this happens at the airports, because they do have good security once you're inside the on the other side of the thing, but outside they don't. So maybe they have to start looking into the whole area,
the perimeter.
Yeah,
It's interesting. I wonder about my family. You know, my kids want to go to these concerts. I love music and live concerts, taking the train, but they have described these as soft targets. And so you wonder, what do? Do you change your life as an American or as a European? Because this happened in England.
Well, it happened just outside of London.
In Manchester. So do you change your life? And I don't think you do, because I think that's what they want. Right? They want us to change who we are as a society. And I remember after the Boston Marathon bombings, President Obama said, he said, it's important to remember what terrorists and violent extremists are trying to do. They are trying to hurt innocent people, but they want to inspire fear in all of us and disrupt the way we live to undermine our values. And we can't let them have that satisfaction.
Brings you back to the tight security then. Because, okay, I'll go, but I want them to make sure that they do everything to make me feel safe.
Yeah, I mean, CBS News was reporting that this guy was known to British authorities before the attack. Now, I'm waiting to hear more information about that, but I think we often hear these cases, and we find that there was a trail that was not followed. So first step is to follow the trail. And I think I agree with you. You don't want to change your life. You want to be who you are. You can't let terrorists dictate the way you live. But if we know that these are soft targets, it's the responsibility to tell your elected representatives, no matter where you live, no matter where you are, that these things need to be addressed. If they're saying, ISIS has repeatedly said, we're going after stadiums, we're going after sporting events, we're going after these places, they have to amp up security in a way that people feel protected.
They'll also take a big SUV and ram it into a crowd.
Well, you can't, I think,
how do you protect
that's the other thing, though. I think the admission that you can't prevent everything. Because these are people that are sick, evil, awful people that have their mindset on destruction.
And that's why you can't live in fear, because then you give in to what they want.
You can't live in fear. You can't, but we can advocate for proper protection. And if we know that they are out there saying, these areas around the world, we're coming for you, then it's our responsibility as security responsibility to amp up.
You can't bitch.
About the security.
You can't bitch about the lines that you know, when people are, you know, touching you in places. You know, look, this is the world we're in. And when you hear that, well, you know, a lot of things suck.
This really sucks.
But, you know, anytime you have extremists, it's a problem, you know? But when people tell you, hey, we have a hole in the airport system, pay attention. And if you realize that they're not kidding when they say there's a hole in the system, it's up to us to say, we want it fixed and we're not going to come in there until you fix it.
And then
that's what we can
do. It becomes a debate about privacy oftentimes. Like, people feel their privacy is being infringed, and you can't have it both ways oftentimes, because if this is the time we live in and these are the threats that we're getting, sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit of that. The line needs to be longer. Maybe they need to look through your purse, because there's no other way for these people to protect people in these soft target zones.